Hola bafethu kunjani? Siyaphila thina sigrand. Thank you for tuning in. Dzala sagcina kuphosta but isikhona sikayindzawo and ningagcina kusibukela ngithi. Today's video is very short. I just want to talk about a very very short topic about education. Today I'm talking to parents. I know parents of these days, they are very young. About Alabama 2000, yabona. So I want to talk to parents. I want to give advice on what is it that you must look at when you are choosing a school for your child. So the video of today is all about choosing a school for your child. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of things that you must consider when you are choosing a school for your child. Kuningi kakhulu ekufuna ukubuke when you choose a school for your child. Investing in your child's education is one of the best gifts that you can give to your child. So when you choose a school, kuningi lekumele ukubuke ukuthi umntwana wakho, where are you taking your child to. There are a lot of things that you need to look at. There are a lot of things that you need to consider as a parent. So I'm going to take you through that. There is this thing that is happening in our townships. The department has introduced our kids, they must learn in their mother tongue. It's called mother tongue based teaching. What. Yeah, they know how they call it. But what I can tell you is that parents don't like that. Teaching your child maths ngesiswati. It has been happening from grade R to grade grade 3 in the foundation phase. Now the department is introducing this thing from grade 4 going up, which means it's going to continue until grade 12. As a teacher and as a principal in an English medium school, I interact with a lot of parents who are showing interest of bringing their kids to the schools that are in town because they are running away from this thing that the department is implementing, teaching learners ngesiswati. So bafunda maths ngesiswati grade 4 iyachubeka the following year grade 5 grade 6 nje ngena siswati all the way. So nababhala, for example, nabafunda science, let's say they are writing about photosynthesis. Instead of writing photosynthesis in English, the ph, the when you spell photosynthesis, babhala like sifana ka law of some kind. It's not even Siswati because babhala photosynthesis. That's what is happening in our school. Now tell me, if the child is going to learn science ngesiswati, where is the child going? Are we expecting universities to also teach our children ngesiswati? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You go to the University of Pretoria, completely new environment. They will teach you in English there. So labo photosynthesis bakho lobabhala ngesifana kalo, it's not going to work. I don't know what the department was thinking. I don't know why are they doing this, but they are doing it. They are lawmakers. What can we do and what can we say? So parents, they are not happy with this thing. They are very very unhappy, and I agree with them. Gutsi babe unhappy. Nami, I wouldn't want my kids to be taught in Siswati, as much as I encourage them to speak Siswati as their mother tongue. But I wouldn't want my kids to be taught in Siswati. That's a matter of fact, and that's a fact. So when you choose a school for your child, now applications are opened for most schools since June, I think. You just go get the application forms, then you apply. So when you choose a school for your child, there are a lot of things that you need to look at. You need to decide whether you are taking your child to a public school or to a government school. There are a lot of government schools that are good. There are a lot of government schools that are bad. There are a lot of private schools, we call them the independent schools, that are good, and there are a lot of independent schools that are very bad, to an extent that parents don't know. They think if you are taking your child to a private school, then you are at an advantage. Sometimes it's not the case. As teachers, we face a lot of challenges with kids who are coming from private schools. You will find out that the kid can is able to express him or herself, can speak fluent English, but they cannot write what they are speaking. They cannot write it at all. So as a parent, you might be impressed by that, to say, oh, the child is speaking fluent and very good English. When we go to the villages, uyabreka labanye abantwana vele bashaya 10-0 beva ngayo. Fine, asisibhale shale lesikhuluma tsa. Yayibona. So you need to look at those things, especially these private schools that are still very small. You must do your research. I'm not saying they're all bad. There are those that are good, but you must do your research. You must do your research. Find out if the school is a private school or an independent school that is very, very good for your child. Coming to public schools, most parents, they don't afford to pay independent schools. They don't afford to pay for private schools, so they opt to take their kids to public schools. So now Lama public schools, they are not the same. They are not the same. Ahlukana ngema quintiles ma public schools. Kune quintile 1 until quintile 5. So a quintile 1 school is a school that is very poor, very poor, the poor of the poorest. The poorest school is a quintile 1. These schools, they are normally found in deep rural areas, deep rural areas, and in farm schools. They are quintile 1 schools. Then we've got quintile 5 schools. These are the schools that are public schools, but they are well resourced. Most of them, they are the former Model C schools. They are well resourced. They've got everything. If you come here in Pumalanga, most of the schools that are in town, they are quintile schools. You talk about your school, Nelspruit, all the African schools, Lyre School, what, those are quintile 5 schools. They are very, very good. And there are other quintile 5 schools that are in town that are also very good. I won't mention them because I'm heading one of those schools. So yes, my school is a quintile 5 school. And then basically quintile 2. Quintile 2 still is found in rural areas as well, but it's better than quintile 1. Then there's quintile 3 is better. Quintile 4 is good. So 4 and 5, these are very good schools, and they are mostly found in towns. So in quintile 1, 2 and 3, they don't pay school fees. It's free education. It's free education. Ne? They don't pay nothing at all. They are called no fee schools. And then the quintile 4 and 5, you pay school fees. They are not private schools. They are not independent. They are fully government, but you pay. As much as they are well resourced, you must fund these resources. You must pay for these resources in those quintile 4 and 5 schools. Now, when you choose a school for your child, Lama quintile 4 and 5 schools, they are very strict. In admission days, it's not easy. It's very difficult to get space, especially if you are not residing from around. Okay, most people that I know, I'm from there, so they don't want to take their kids to the townships. They want to take their kids to town, which is a very, very serious challenge, because at town now figure they want the proof of residence to say you're staying around. It's not a matter of discrimination. Let me explain that, because what they're looking at is the fact that if they can now admit without restrictions and say we admit all kids that come and apply that want to study with us, it can be a problem for the children that are staying in town, because they can find themselves without schools. The kids from the townships, they will come and occupy spaces in town. Then the kids from town won't have schools, which is not fair, because they cannot travel from town to the rural areas. Okay, so they must accommodate the kids that are around here. Then once they are all accommodated, then they can go outside and assist kids that are coming from outside town. Which makes sense. Of course, it makes sense. Imagine ube a neighbor of a school, then your child angathola space. Just doesn't make sense. So I like what they're doing in Gauteng, this online application system. You just apply, then it places you next to your residential area. If you are staying here, it will place you right to the school next to you. It will place you right to the next school next to your house. But it's a disadvantage if you don't like the school, I must say. So as a parent, when you choose a school for your child, you must be very smart. You must look for a school that is having a good track record of performance as far as results are concerned, teaching and learning. A school that is known of good discipline, because you want to have a child that is disciplined, a child that will be able to work independently. Okay, so You must do research about that. Check if the school is able to discipline. Check if the school, they are teaching and learning, how is it going. Do research about the school. The teachers who are working there, check them. Check the type of teachers that are working there. Check the principals, the people who are heading those schools. Who is the principal there? Find their track records, because you don't want your child to be in a school that is that is having a head that is clueless, or a head that does not care about education. You must go to a school where the people that are there are very passionate about education. Okay, if you decide on a quintile 5 school, a quintile 4 and 5, the schools that are in town, you must be prepared to pay the school fees. So school fees, it ranges from 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, some schools even 3,000 per month. I'm talking about per month. I'm talking about Nelspruit, okay? Per month. So be prepared to pay that. Okay, it's not a private school, it's a public school, but a quintile 4 and a quintile 5. But be prepared to pay between 1,000 to 3,000 or even more, excluding transporting your child to the school, excluding paying for the extra mural activities, if there are extra classes, if you have to prepare my lunch boxes, you have to pay for excursions, you have to pay for a whole lot of things. You have to buy uniform. Uniform in these schools is very expensive, and they tell you where to buy your uniform. Okay, so you need to be prepared to pay for those things. But these schools, they are good, I must say. They are very, very good schools, and your child can benefit a lot when you take your kid to this kind of schools. Then, let's say you are unable to afford town, you are staying in a township. Look from the schools that are around, then pick a school. Lowendile ngasi research, bakutshela ukuthi the school is good, then you can take your child there. Don't just take your child to any school nje. No, don't just nyalo nyalo sekune strike sekuvale emgwaqo. You must avoid schools that are in hotspot of strikes. Ne, your child is not going to learn. Ne, and also check if the teachers in that school are not taking their kids to where they teach. They take their kids to the schools in town. They take their kids to neighboring schools. By attributes, they are not doing justice. They know that they are not doing justice. So just avoid those schools. Okay, just avoid those schools. Look for a school where your child is going to benefit. Where your child is going to benefit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to keep it long. I decided to keep it sharp.